Hey everybody, this is Collector Dude back again with another Dynamite art of Alex Ross. This will be part 6. So we're gonna go through this. Usually I make these videos about a half hour long. So, and if it takes more, maybe another one or two more just to finish through this book, it'll be worth it because this is awesome artwork from Alex Ross. But this is one character he made up for them. I think his name was Thunder. But you can see Bring the Thunder, and you'll see down here. But that's like a picture of him getting hit with something. He made up a suit and everything. But here we go with this. I'll pause it here. You can pause it here to see what that says. And we'll go down and see more of these covers here. The breakdowns, the thumbnails that he always does. This is thumbnail sketches for covers 1 through 4. And just really cool. I love how he does this stuff. Like I said, he gets paid really good for just these if you wanted to buy them off his site. Bring the Thunder. There's another one. This is like a breakdown for the big picture up there you saw in yellow. He's got a villain that he's fighting. Kind of like, there's his face there. You see his face there. So, how he wanted it to look. Okay, now we're going to go to this page. This is his model that he uses. It's pretty cool how he uses the real people. They keep the look real good. Above is Terrence Hunter is his name. And the guy in the comic book is Wayne Russell. You see the facial studies he does. And then up here, Wayne's display of sonic power. Like he tears them apart or something. It's like, wow. And here, like a color study of it. It's pretty cool. You see, like some type of sound waves or something he does. Over here, cool. And down here, struggling. Let's see what this says here. 2 sound-empowered combatants locked in struggle. And see if there's anything not there, but here, cover to Bring the Thunder #1. So here's the color version of the breakdown that we saw earlier. Must be the Army has some type of new weapons that they're using. And whatever happened must have backfired or blew up or something like that and created him. Here he is. This is with his wife and kids, or girlfriend and kids, or whatever. That's cool. That's a cool cover. Look at that. Just the light. Exploding out of him. I'm not sure. I didn't get this book, so I'm not sure exactly what the character is or what he's about. But that's Bring the Thunder #2. Here is Wayne in Afghanistan. That's cool. He looks like a guy I knew. Worked with him for a little bit. side face. Let's study this one a little bit more. It's a pretty cool pose. And over here, okay. This is about a bad guy, so see what this says. And then here, talking about how he's wrapped and stuff and different things that make his costume. You just see he glows. Like a mummy type. You got breakdowns for the gun, sonic weapon. Let's see. Break this up. Glow blue light. Sonic gun early. Sonic gun designs. Cool. And this one's the cover for 3. This is like the color version of that breakdown we saw. And the color versions are always so cool. Look at them glowing. We're running from the bad guy. He got a suit of his own here, but let's see, this was alternate 4th issue thumbnail sketch. Boom. And here we got Wayne in power suit. Just hope you can read that one. And go down here. So a power dampening suit just to help him control what he's got, his new power. That's cool. And here, go over. If we can read all that. Let me get this down in here. I can get that pressed down. Wow. Okay. Early armor designs for Wayne. Here we have cover to Bring the Thunder #4. It's like bam, pow, crash. So it's made out of metal or something. hit him hard. Now we're on to Project Superpowers, Meet the Bad Guys. I remember these. Cool. Let's see if we can get this so you can read this. Put on pause. And these are thumbnails again for issues 1 through 4 of Meet the Bad Guys. Green Llama. Revolutionary Yank. Kind of like a Lobo on a motorcycle. You'll see that. And Samson. Dagon. And the Scarab. Supremacy. I like Blue Beetle. And she's cool. Wow. Boom. Okay, Bloodlust. Hit the pause button. And then down here, Crimson Red Bloody Wet bodysuit with exposed rift, exposed face and midriff and thighs. Oh boy, she looks deadly. Hair braid attaches to the silver blade. So she swings that around and cuts you. Ouch. Here's the Green Llama. And over here, another picture. Hydro Man. And then Bloodlust here. Wow. It's like it ain't fun games no more. Oof. I don't think it ever was, but she's pretty deadly. And then it looks like they took this and they combined them to make the cover, because this is what the cover looks like. Everybody just looks so cool. I mean, it looks like somebody they posed for the cover of the book. This one's final assembled cover to Project Superpowers Meet the Bad Guys #1. Meet this bad guy. Wow. Okay, here we go. That's just I said this guy looks like Lobo, the Revolutionary. He's cool. Got a cool look. And then he's got a motorcycle, white eyes and white skin like a ghost. Who does that sound like? 13 bloody dripping stars in a circle from the original flag. Then you got him here. Cool. And you can read this, pause this. Okay. And we see him over here in color, like the breakdown we saw. Look at that. That's Lobo. He doesn't have a space bike though. Cool. Yeah, you're riding him over. Riding over him. You don't care. Then Samson here, fighting some sea monster. Look at these muscles and rips, obliques and abs, veins. The separation of the leg muscles is like, wow. Samson is one bad dude. Let's see. Cover to Project Superpowers, Meet the Bad Guys. Number 3, featuring Samson and Dagon. And let's see, here's Dagon right here. Like some type of fish, giant fish thing. It's from one of it's like a Japanese movie with the monsters and everything. Godzilla versus Megalon and all the different monsters that they fought. This one's got a fish head. Red eyes. Size comparison to Samson. Wow. Looks like the Kraken. Release the Kraken. Fish gills. There he is over here again. He looks cool. I'm going to press this down so you can read this. Okay, if I can get this spread here. Alrighty. Ooh, look at this. Now we got the supremacy. There's always got to be somebody in the shadows. So you can read all of that. I'll back that up a little bit so you can read that there. These guys are cool looking. I mean, even though they're supposed to be bad guys, it's just all of them are just different personality, different faces and everything. And this guy looks cool. And you got the scarab. What's going on over here? His face is covered up, look at that. The thing closes around his face so he can go into battle, I'm sure. Uh-oh, what's this? Scarab faces off against this robot. Emissary of the Supremacy. Okay. Kind of like RoboCop. Yeah. Let's see what this is now. Here they are. The glowing light. And this is book number 4, featuring the scarab and the supremacy. He's all shiny. Ooh, now look at this. We're going to the church now for Marvel. So we're going to stop this here. This one might be kind of hard to get all in. You can pause it here. How to hold it steady, and then you can pause it. Sometimes if I don't hold it steady and you pause it, It'll be blurry, you won't be able to read it. Okay. This is thumbnail sketches for covers 1 through 4. Cool. And cover to torch number 1. Real simple but powerful. Boom. Remember this? I think I got one copy of this. I'm not sure if it's worth anything right now, but this is cool. That stands out. That black background on the book. It has torch across the top. There's like a negative looking picture. That's cool. Looks like a negative. This was a cool cover here with that lanterns coming out of the water. That was pretty. It was spooky looking. We'll get to see it in the next few pages. And it says thumbnail sketches for 4 through 8. Crackling. And this is number 1 with the torch. That's cool. Eyes. Wow. It's cool how his hair glows. Everything. And burns. Okay. This is kind of like a remake of one of the early Marvel covers. Marvel Comics. He looks like he's hot. They're trying to stop him, but then he's too hot. The bullets will probably just melt as soon as they hit him. It's number 2. And number 3. This is cool. He's touching him. Kind of like giving life. Like the God in the David picture. The Sistine Chapel. Or not David, Adam. Cool. Here it is. Look at this. Look at that sun and that sky, and they just made the water orange, and they're all coming out. It's like, whoa, look at them all back there. They all got their little separate uniforms and armor, and they're all coming out of the water. And I think I'd be running. Running. Whoa. These guys, wow, man. That is cool. There's cover number 4, torch number 4. This is torch number 5. There's multiple torches. Human Torch, and then Toro. I'm not sure what the other one would be. Namor looks like he's fleeing. He's like, hey, man. The veins coming out must be, they're drying him out, maybe. Hitting him with all that heat. That's one of his weaknesses, the heat and everything. Dry him out, he's got to get water. Oh, this is cool. This is number 4, I think, or is this number 6? There's a lot of Nazi stuff. Wow. There's number 6. There's number 7. This guy's kind of crazy looking. He's like, hey, look at my creation. Crackling man. Wow. That's very cool. And this right here is like the breakdown for it. This is how he colors. Isn't that amazing? I mean, you gotta maybe have some idea about what something looks like, looking at lava or something. But just to color that, and maybe you could do it real quick on a sketch cover or something like that. Draw the body out, and then use a lot of ink to blacken it in, but then leave those spots like that and just go through it with maybe a lighter color like a yellow, and then dab it with orange or something. See, like he did it with a yellow, because I've done this with flame as well in some of my characters. I got a fire character that I created, and I've done that before. And that's what I do, put the light color down first, and gradually go darker and darker with some of the markers that I have. Prismacolor markers I use. I use them since college and everything in art classes and in high school and stuff. I had markers then, but not like the ones I have now. This is cool. Okay. This one's going to be cover 8, the torch. Supernova. Wow, he's burning stuff up. Burning up the Nazi stuff. Wow. And this guy. That's cool. Crackling. See, like this very cool. I'll go through this. This is like a book. Kirby Genesis, or Kurt Busiek wrote this. He's one of my favorite writers. Kurt Busiek, like Mark Waid and stuff like that. Those guys, or art writers like that, they're good. I just like their concepts and stories. I think there's so many guys that are coming out now. It's really popular. Like Donnie Cates, I think it is. He's doing Venom right now. He's got another one coming out for Carnage, and he's doing a lot of horror stuff. Colin Bunn, real popular. But read that. Now these are the covers for 0 through number 1. I think I got all these covers. Just so cool to Jack Kirby there. and just like a, and the colors were so psychedelic. I'll show you. I know they got a poster in here, and he did all of Kirby's characters from this Fourth World and other stuff that he created. This is cool too. Giant characters above landscapes and stuff like that are cool. Just see the scale of them. See, let's get up here. I forget this actor's name, but he used his likeness. Seen him before. You just draw like a simple thing to show you what they're wearing, to explain what they wear, and then when they're drawing the comic book, they just put them in those clothes. Kind of like Scooby-Doo and all those guys all have the same costume on, no matter what they're doing. They don't ever change clothes. These are the father, the daughter, and Kirby, the neighbor. I remember reading it, Neighbor Kid. And this is cool. It was mixed with another artist. Alex did all the layouts and breakdowns and stuff like that, but one artist drew the artwork, and Alex did some of the artwork inside of it, the way he draws and paints and stuff, like realistic stuff. But so, wow, and breakdowns for the pages. You see, he did this, and then another artist drew it. It would look very similar. All the different creatures. And over here, and these characters, they introduced a lot of different characters that Kirby did stories with, or just did pictures of, and created a whole story with them. And look at this ship, the spaceship. It's like, wow. And Kirby designed some wild stuff, and it's cool to see him do this because it makes it look realistic. It looks real. Some of the characters he created, to see them done like this, I'd love to see him do this with some of my characters, make them look realistic. Out of the mind of Jack Kirby. So cool. This is some of his stuff he did in the book. I think I'll go through the books too one day. There'll be a lot of videos, but it's just so cool. I just loved showing the artwork of this stuff. It inspires me to want to do more artwork too. Get an idea like how to do page layout from Alex, how he does stuff. That's a smaller version of it, and here's the bigger version of it. Some of the characters you kind of recognize, some of them you think you know what they are or who they are, but probably never seen them before, saw them before, because they never published them or never put them in anything. That's why they're doing this like this. I think some of these have been published and done before. And there's some stories that Jack did, everything. They came out with stuff after he passed away with a lot of his stuff. And then he worked at another company to put out these books and characters. And that looks like Devil Dinosaur. Everything, but He worked at another company and they published a lot of his books and stories. But that's really cool. Just so many things on the character. Silver Stars were really popular. He's really cool. And he looked like kind of like a dark side type character. Darius Drum or something like that is his name. He had such a great imagination. You think you come up with a bunch of ideas and everything like that. Jack came up with the stories, the concepts and everything. When he made the characters, the concepts around them. It's like, wow, just his mind, how he thought, and how he maybe used current events to make his stories come out with different things. Some of the books I got reading about how he came up with ideas talked about how he used current events and everything to do a lot of stuff, like forever people, like the hippie culture back then, and everything. He came up with so many ideas and just made it unique and relevant in the space age and everything. Told stories with the characters and made them maybe respectable or something in comics by taking from reality, and it made it more realistic. Everything you could understand it or realize or kind of identify with or something. And you think, okay, that seems kind of like a real person or something. And they do that nowadays as well. I try to do that as well when I come up with different characters, different people that I know or have seen or met in my life, and you put or something in myself to make a character out of it. That's cool. He uses that airbrush. I said Alex does it. Uses so many different techniques once he spray paints or paints it with watercolor and gouache, and then he'll go back through it and use spray paint or airbrush. Not spray paint, airbrush. But a lot of stuff they said he does. I don't know if he does it with all of them, but maybe so. Everything has a deep color to it. He does everything in black and white first, and then he'll put the color on top of it. That's what I read in one of his books as well, which seems like wow. So he has to paint it a few times. Well, look at this. This is the one I was talking about. Look at the psychedelic colors. It's like wow. Let me zoom down to here. This is wraparound cover, the Kirby Genesis #1. I have a couple of these because they did a wraparound cover, then they did one of this here, and they did one of this on this side. But then they did one that combined it. But I'm gonna try to go through all of this. Look at this. All these are Kirby's characters. There's the colors.